each other
I'm
instead of
saying
the person.
I've
We're not.
never.
Right. This world is so trash.
Such a thing as aging like wine versus aging like milk.
What's going on, peoples? Women single by choice or just by standards? Or do they just want men who just don't want them? We about to answer these questions and a whole lot more after this video.
Most women that say they want a good man, if you bring her one right now, she probably gonna fuck it up.
Do you think that women are single by choice?
Them saying they're single by choice is because they've been unsuccessful in finding one. We say that we want to be single because we can't find that one because we're incapable in this season of managing ourselves in that. If you told a woman right now, I have the man, the one you want. If God himself said, right now, if you want this, I have the guy that you want. Everything laid out, everything you want. Because you know, all women say they got their different preferences. I got your preference right here, ready for a relationship. She's not going to say, no, thank you. I'm going to stay single. They want a man. That verbiage of wanting a man on our level, that is our ignorant way of saying that I don't know how to balance this new embodied power I have as a successful woman with being a woman in the presence of a man.
What y'all got? What y'all got? What you think? What you think? When women say they're single by choice, is it actually true? Or does it mean that they just want to a man who don't want them or want them?
I can speak to a piece of that video.
Well, let's talk.
I think I agree with the part where she specifically said, like, most women who say they're single by choice have had experiences up to that point that somehow got them there. I don't think a woman wakes up one morning and says, oh, I just want to be single forever. I think something happened before that. Right. And there was like, okay, I'm good with being single. I think it comes after some trials and tribulations. Now, whether or not that is their fault personally or just a series of bad circumstances is case by case. But I do think that women get to the point where they get frustrated with circumstance and say, you know what, I'm okay either way. Because I know I've gotten there just after, and it wasn't always, you know, no one's perfect, but you just get tired of balancing life and putting effort into things that aren't working. Okay. So you're like, if I'm really good over here and my success, like I'm good in my career, I'm successful, I have everything I need, you can get to the point where you're okay alone and you're like, my life can be fulfilling with friends, family, and I don't necessarily need a romantic relationship to feel fulfilled in life. It doesn't mean per se I'm swearing it off or I don't want it, but I understand being okay without it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. G, Nay, what y'all got?
I can agree with some of what she said as well. And even what Amanda said as far as like the choice. Like, I do feel like it could be things that a woman has been through throughout her dating life or being married, divorced, wherever, where she's just said, you know, I'm cool with not being like with anybody. I'm cool with being by myself. I do also agree that I feel like some women, yes, they are out here, and I'm probably going to get backlash for this, but I do feel like some women do mess it up. I do feel like you have women out here that have good ones, and they do too much to the point where it's like, even me as a woman, I'd be like, girl, if I was a dude, I wouldn't want to be with your ass either. And that's just from experiences of just, you know, guy friends that I've had throughout the years that I may have known since high school or whatever. And they dating this chick or whatever. And I'm like, you know, these are my bros. I know these guys. They're good guys, you know, but why? Like, you couldn't be grateful for the little gift. You had to go and complain and you got to do this and you nagging and, you know, like I said, to an extent, but I can also say that I know women that have been married once, twice, 3 times, and they like, all right, this just ain't working out. So I'm cool with being single by choice. They've had a failed marriage. They may look at marriage differently than now versus what they did when they were probably 22, 23. Now that they're 45, 50, and they've been through it, been there, done that, that I think that could be a preference as well. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I understand where you're coming from that. G, what you got?
No, nothing. I would just say 50-50, because I have seen it all. Some of the ladies choose to be single because, the experiences like Amanda was saying they had, some of them, hit their the good heart. They don't want to be single. They tried and they just get douchebags out there and the bad experiences to just, rather be single for a while, till they find the right ones. And some other ones, it's just because they can just hold them in. They're just messed up. Um, and there are some out there that they really have a good person next to them, but they can just hold their shit together and they messed up. So, and that's what they're single. So it's a little bit of both.
Good
And
morning.
that's what I believe.
Okay. Okay.
Morning.
Hi,
We got
Calvino.
before we get the name, we got Bino in here. He can't
Hello?
be on video, but he can. But definitely we can hear him talk his
Calvino.
ish.
Yeah, we hear you, Mac. I mean, Calvino.
Uncle Bean.
There you go. After I agree with the only part that Amanda spotlighted. I never, me personally, coming out of a marriage, I just personally didn't want to be. I don't desire a relation right now. I
Mm-hmm.
do, later on, only because I never understood how somebody can get out of something and get right back into something. Like I will not be beneficial to a person right now. I want my career, and I want relationships require a lot of time,
Right.
and it requires a lot of let's do, and I don't want, I really wanted to, and then I wanted my youngest son to be just have a not have a man right after his, so it's really a personal choice. I don't like these generalization type videos. I just feel like they are for a clickbait. And I don't know, that part where if you get a good man, you'll mess it up. I don't know that part, because if I get the man that I am desiring, I will not mess it up. But if I got it when coming out of there, I probably would, because I would be like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And you have to nurture a relationship. So I'm single now by choice. It's not because I can't get in a man is so easy. It's keeping one that, and vice versa. So that's the
It's
only
only
thing.
if they want to be kept.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. But you have to. It takes a lot of work to do that. But I'm single by choice. If I did desire a man, I can get a man. That's just stupid.
Okay.
Lady
Okay.
on the
All
clip.
right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Boogie, what you got?
Mac, just so you're aware, because you missed the clip,
Yeah.
the default question was, are people single by choice, actually, or not? And a woman went on to explain the reasons why it's not by choice in her opinion. So that's what I'm responding to. Everyone is gone. You missed that clip. I thought that would be fair to catch you up, or else you just,
Thank you.
we're talking about the context of these answers that you're hearing. So the question was it by choice? And I think I was something that Amanda said that was important, like, and all of you kind of touched on it, is it's the word or the description of choice that's being questioned. Is it if that's not your default choice and you adapt to that becoming your now choice, is that really what you would ultimately dream or want for yourself? And is it what you would ultimately or dream or want, better question, for your children? So that's the context that I try to make moves in when I think about what I would ultimately want for myself. It would to be partnered. And I don't know that It seems like, and I've never been a female, obviously, so I don't know what it's like, but I've only seen like women in my family, whether it be my sister, my mother, whatever relationships I've been in. They all had this thing because you're little girls at times, and that's just like we're little boys. You dream of, oh, the day, the wedding, the thing. There's a whole like piece of being a princess or daddy's little girl and all these things, and it's like a strong masculine figure in a woman's life, grounding them, whether they're as a father figure or as a mate, or later on in life, it could be a situation where if you have sons, they become your protector because by default, you just do that for your mom. Like when she gets older, it's like a man in a woman's life. How could you not want to be partnered? How could you not want somebody who gives a fuck that you're gonna make it home? How could you like? I love the fact that if I'm too late, somebody gives a fuck. Somebody, if something happens to me, someone's gonna be checking for my ass. Somebody's like in sync with me enough that it's also a comfort thing. So it's not to judge anyone's decision. Some of you may disagree with everything I just said or not understand it, but I'm speaking from somebody with digging balls. So my shit's gonna be fucking off maybe. But yeah, that's all I have to say about what she said.
Nobody is saying though that they like for me. I'm not saying that that's forever, but I don't understand the whole. Like, yes, everybody wants someone to check on you, but who wants just smoothing going into something, getting out of something and going right into something for
Sure.
the whole, not saying that you said that. Not saying that you said that. You didn't say that. But no there's a difference between these women that like get on this rant where they're saying, "Oh, I love being single." Da, 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 and that's a lie. That part is a lie. But someone that is like, I just want to be single for a second, and then but I'm open, and being open is totally different than someone being single. I don't like to hear anyone just acting like that, that they need to be by themselves forever. I don't think that we was created to be by ourselves and that we are
Right,
supposed to partner. So I
right.
agree with you on that one.
So I love what you just said, Nate, actually, because that's more of I think what men are feeling when they hear women say, "Well, I'm single by choice," or "I'm single and I don't," or not that you're saying this, or "I don't need a man," or whatever it may be. I think it's we feel like that's a lie, and not that because we're thinking about it from an instinctual place, a natural, innate feeling that you have biologically and even spiritually, because like you said, we were made to have a counterpart. The phrasing "my better half," I really feel like that about my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you are supposed to find your counterpart that you balance with. So if you never find your counterpart, are you therefore imbalanced? And that is not a knock. It's just like you said, for a season, because I do also believe there is such a thing as perpetually getting into relationships and not knowing how to be alone. You do need to know how to fully know who you are as a person before you can be the perfect counterpart for someone else,
Now I
or,
feel like
or the
this, but
perfect
I'm gonna
mate.
ask.
You
I,
gotta heal.
Defend.
I
You gotta even heal like from certain shit that people go through. So I
I
get
feel like this, but let me ask you: do you feel like it's easier for a man to find a good woman than it is for an older woman to find a good man? Or would it require that woman settling? And maybe that's the reason why a lot of women are proclaiming that from what I've seen. I'm not in the dating field right now, so I don't know. So do you feel like it's easier for you guys to find that helpmate or that one that completes you than it is for a woman to find that?
I think it I
Without,
think
yeah.
I think it is I think it is easier sometimes in an almost unfair manner.
Okay.
I do. And I'm not saying that on like a because I'm not in the field neither, but I'm still cognizant of what I see. And I think it really even played more into me paying attention because I have a dating age daughter in her mid-20s. So
I think this is
so
why I
I'm
think it's
looking at the
unfair.
mentalities. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the mentalities from a somewhat selfish point of like, damn, who's gonna be the fucking progeny for my goddamn grandchild and shit? What the fuck?
Yeah,
What is
right.
she What's
It's
her what's
unfair.
her
I think it's
goddamn thinking?
So I think it's unfair for people to weigh in on single women. I wanted you to answer like that. So that's why I said I think it's unfair for people to weigh in on single women because if let's say, and then you can touch on it or not. Let's say if your daughter did decide to be with a man just to say because she wants someone that how you was describing to be there to check on her, but he's not a good fit. So she's settling. Would you then feel like her waiting, taking a moment to wait to find someone that's compatible because there is a shortage of that for women versus it's easier for you guys to find a better wife?
So
In my opinion, from
that's
what
hard. That's a
yeah,
hard fucking question, but I gotta answer.
okay,
I gotta
okay,
answer. It's
okay.
not, and it's not politically correct at fucking all.
I know it ain't
Here's
gonna
some
be.
real shit. Women look at this sometimes and they negate, and this is gonna be someone everyone hated. But I won't even say who coined this phrase, but sexual market fucking value. It's unfair. It's unfair as fuck. But some people will sit there and say, I'm a 10 and I deserve 10 shit, and you feel like a 10, but you're not a 10. And men do it too. That's not that. I know you're shaking your head. I'm saying some men overestimate their fucking value too, because if you strip away the money, you strip away
Yeah,
whatever prestige they have, they don't
take away your
fucking
money.
work like that neither. I get
Yeah,
it. I'm keeping it a buck. But the
yeah.
only difference is, here's the trick. We're less easily swayed by position and power and money as men. We just fucking are because we know out the gate we got to get it on our own. And no one's going to respect us until we do. It don't fucking matter how handsome you are. A woman will fucking be like, nigga, you're weak though. Your mind is weak. You don't have any fucking mental stamina. You can't, I'm running circles around you. So we know we got to be on point mentally and then go get some money. And the looks come third with what women are fucking shopping for. So how many women be like, oh, I'm over the pretty boy or the handsome nigga. I'm just gonna get somebody who I know is gonna treat me good when they're young.
Correct.
Heartbroken by the nigga who was fucking everybody and they didn't know he was fucking everybody.
I ain't over it.
So they had to readjust. No, I'm saying like that's in you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now let's move that
I
to
want me a pretty Ricky.
right. But now let's move that to I'm gonna take it to something. You love to work out. How many men do you find in your demographic that are working out at the level that you would require for you to find them physically attractive? So right. You're giggling because you're like, damn, not enough,
I'm
motherfucker.
crying
Not
on the
enough. And I'm
inside.
like, right. But there are women like you who are like, yeah, he don't find me physically, I don't find him physically attractive enough, but damn, that nigga's fucking caked up. And they will adjust in that regard, especially if he's a nice guy on top of it and he has a good heart and he's treating them right.
I
They
just feel like you're not ever gonna find.
Men are less inclined to do that.
I
We
feel
need
I
to feel it like on a visceral fucking biological level to be like, hey, I'm not touching another woman.
I just feel like you're never gonna find someone with that perfect cutout package that you want. Like we all have a feeling, a desire where we want our person to be and what we want them to look like or whatever the case. But I feel like that it just does like that does not exist. It doesn't exist. We can
It
daydream
exists. That's
Cinderella
the
the
fuck
story.
shit. That's
It
the fuck shit. It
it
does fucking
it
exist.
exists,
You
but
don't have
it
all the
exists to
pieces.
it
On a
exists to
physical
the
level, it exists.
it exists to the point of where somebody that actually finds that attractive, yes, it can work. But I'm just saying, I'm talking about just as far as like you said, when we're in this dating phase and we're like, oh, I want this, you think you want that, or you think you want this. It might even be a thing where it did exist when you were 25, 30, 35. And by the time you 60, you like, no, this is not what I wanted, or this is not what I thought it was. Or the person changes into something else, either for the good or, or for the worse, either or you're gonna change. So my thing is, I just feel like you have to be more cognizant just to be able to know that you're gonna have to adapt to that as well when dating someone, because everybody is gonna change. If you still the same person that you was 20 and you 50, 60 years old, something's wrong.
Right
Now,
now,
if you found your crazy mate to be with you and you didn't stay that way since you was 21, then that's cool. That's great. That's what it was supposed to be.
now, I agree. I totally agree with everything you just said because people should change, and it's called maturing. And you should become someone who's evolved over time and constantly be learning not only about yourself, but the people you're interacting with and growing, and hopefully are growing in conjunction with,
Right.
because you have an ecosystem of motherfuckers that as you get older, your circle should fucking get smaller. I wouldn't be involved in a relationship where I don't make new friends. My friends are all fucking 20 years and up. Real shit. So it's like, I get what you're saying. However, here's the thing. We all have a starting point. And if you're starting off already fucked up, really fucked up, your evolution isn't going to be as good as someone who wasn't as fucked up.
I agree.
We all want to say everyone has the equal amount of opportunity for success, and it ain't true. We don't all, your environment, who you know,
right,
exposed to, what your personality type is like. That's why some people who might not be as physically attractive can get a lot of people to fucking love them just because of the nature of their personality. And it's
right.
cool. So those things, we negate all those things sometimes when we say these things. It's like everyone don't start off the same. Like if I say, hey, I'm gonna start off in life with the girl, this is gonna sound fucked up, the girl who played Precious with her DNA or Halle Berry's DNA. You're not gonna all fucking progress through the stages at the equal fucking rate, okay? There's such a thing as aging like wine versus aging like milk. So there's two different, everyone don't got the same starting point. I would agree with you if we were all just fucking perfect, but we're not.
See, and that
Right,
thing
and
where
that's what
you
I'm
just
lie to
did,
each
but
other and
I'm
that
say we're
right
saying.
perfect.
I've
there,
We're not.
never said
right?
that. I know we ain't no perfect.
Every time that there is, we all like it's this world is so trash.
Yes.
That's
Every
true.
time that,
Oh, I'm done, man.
every
That's why
time,
I call
no,
my
seriously,
daughter.
every time that a
The world is
woman
trash.
with what sometimes now it just seems like y'all want women to measure themselves based off of another pretty woman. And let me finish. And y'all don't ever, and I understand the world. The world is trash. And then y'all don't ever, y'all talking about I think
Amanda,
Precious
don't spit out
versus
your water.
Halle Berry.
I
But
said,
then
I
you're
said
not
that, not y'all.
comparing.
It was me.
No, I know.
And I said I
I'm going off
prefaced
of
it with it
your.
would be fucked up, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
giving. I
care.
know, but
I'm
that's
trying to
how a
drive
lot of
home a
people
point.
do. That's how a
I
lot of people do.
agree.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of
I
people say,
agree.
"Oh, like Beyonce," and just for example, I'm gonna do mine so I can take it off you. Beyonce and Kelly, they're both beautiful. Why do we have to compare their beauty? They never do. Y'all never say, but y'all say that. But nobody, no man would say, "Do you look like Shaquille or do you look like Mike Epps? Do you look like Denzel Washington or do you look like DJ Khaled?"
Because we're
Like
judged by different standards.
that's what I said. The world is trash. I don't. If we stop making it seem like that, why can a woman who look like Precious, who look like that, think she's a 10 based off of Halle Berry? Why do we have to measure ourselves
There
based off
it is.
another woman? Why
That's
can't
the
it be? Because
kumbaya. We are
real,
the world.
no, real talk. Because they said that Halle
That's
Berry.
not
No lie,
reality.
I like Halle Berry, but they said she's a mess. They said literally
Mess,
they said
because the prettiest people are the most fucked up.
that's not true. See, another
See, you can't have it both ways, and it is fucking true, and that's what I mean about.
I
All right,
agree.
this is an example
The
of why
prettiest
this is a
one.
good battle of the sexes.
What you agreeing
Because I
with
knew
with
out the
us,
gate.
right?
No,
With us.
Hey,
I knew I was
hold up,
not
hold
gonna
up.
just be raw with it
I
because it's that.
agree.
Boogie
Yeah,
done
take
took
my
his
hat
hat
off.
off, through his hand. Boogie getting comfortable.
I
Boogie.
think Boogie
I
If
just
y'all
threw
gonna
his
agree.
make,
hat
can I
across the
smoke on
room.
this show?
He
The
Yeah, you
only
can
said,
thing,
smoke. You can smoke.
the only
Hey,
thing
he
I agree
just
with,
said like pretty
hey,
people is the most
Gonna
fucked up.
be
I
hey,
So
agree
real,
pretty.
though. I agree.
real quick now before you get in. Bino, what you got to say on this before Big
Oh,
Nine get in?
thank you, man. I thought
Bino,
these
where your
niggas was gonna
face?
talk forever, man.
Uncle B,
No
where your
face,
face?
no face today.
Then Calvino
Oh,
jump in.
Bino.
Yeah, like man, I couldn't jump in. Y'all niggas was just rambling on and on and on. Listen, there's an ugly nigga for Precious, and there's a pretty nigga for Halle Berry. There's somebody for everybody. There ain't no. It's not like you're in a box. You know,
Mm-hmm.
date twos, Fives date fives, tens date tens. That's just how the shit go. There's a hierarchy to everything in the dating world. Everything in the world, there's a hierarchy. But there's somebody for everybody. I don't believe that
That's facts.
Precious could get some dick if she wanted to.
She
There's a
can.
nigga
Yup.
She
out there
got
that's like,
some. She
yeah,
got
Yeah, but
twins
can
I
she get
already.
the
definitely hit that.
same
I was
dick?
watching the reel
I can't be
yesterday
talking
where
because she
dude was
got
like,
twins. I ain't got
I
none.
hit that. And I'm like,
Yep.
whoa. But that's just how it is.
That's true, Mac.
As
Mac, well,
far as
question for you, Mac. Can they get the same dick? It's not can they
they
get
may
dick?
not want the same, they may not want the same
Yes,
dick.
they do. That's the
Nah,
question.
that's
There's
That's
not true.
five
That's
that
not
trying to
true.
get
that is true,
there's
Bino.
five trying
That
to
is
get a treatment out this bitch. Stop it. You know it's true.
that's true.
Wait,
What's
what?
true?
On both
What?
sides, for men and women. It's just that we can buy our way in and they can't.
Nah, I don't believe that
What
Come
did
neither.
on.
he
All
say,
right,
Some
all
bitches
right,
Bino?
check
don't
it.
want
How
some
many
women don't
fans?
want your
How many
money.
have
Your
thrown
money
their
don't
dick
mean
at
shit to
Oprah
them.
when she was big as fuck? Versus how many women would throw their pussy at fucking Biggie and whatever else. That's what I'm saying is it ain't equal.
It is equal. Didn't you see Dave Chappelle do a whole fucking skit about knocking Oprah up? He didn't give a
He
fuck.
didn't really do that. I'm talking about niggas who really Oprah, and that's why it was a skit and a fucking
Niggas would
joke.
hit Oprah. Stedman ain't a bad
I
looking man.
mean, we could talk
Yeah, but
Stedman
about
ain't
Stedman,
we could talk
Stedman
about
knew
Bill
that.
and
But
Hillary
Stedman
Clinton
knew
for
that the
real.
cake was there. This was
What
just
about
an
Bill Clinton?
opposite. This was just an opposite play. Come on, my G. We don't
I
gotta
mean,
agree,
some people
but
think
it
Bill
ain't the
Clinton is
same.
sexy.
Bill,
Same.
like I
I
said,
think Bill. I
you
think
date
Bill Clinton looked like Clint
you date
Eastwood.
within your range. If you a fucking 2, you shouldn't expect to get an 8.
I agree with that.
If you date within your fucking range, and you got to be realistic
Mm.
about what
Yeah.
your range is.
Okay, let me freak it.
But
Let me freak it
you
like
got
If
this.
you
some
Oh,
people
making
hold on,
they in
hold
their
on.
$30,000
range.
a year, you ain't buying no
Not trying to be
fucking
funny,
bitch.
but look
I
at
got
You know
a
what I'm
Ti.
saying? You
question.
gotta.
Look at Ti and Tiny.
That's true. That's true. But I got a question. Those are
But he
always
really
there's
loves that
always
bitch. He really
outliers.
loves her.
Right. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
always outliers and anomalies in life. We can't account for 100% of anything. Nothing is 100%. However, Mac, let me freak it in a way where you might
Albino.
Calvino.
understand what I'm saying.
Calvino.
God
His name is
Calvino,
damn.
my
Calvino.
bad. My bad.
Cabino.
Calvino.
Grosero.
Okay.
Uncle Bean.
Who can
I'm not
more easily
fucking Uncle Bean, man. You gonna cut that shit out.
Yeah,
Calvino, I got
respect.
something to tell you. I got something to tell you, Nasser,
Hold on,
before you got on.
let
what
Boogie let Boogie.
who
I
can
can't
more
do it on the show.
when you
All right.
said
Nasser, wait.
Mac, you said Tuesday twos, 5 day fives, etc. So which gender can more easily buy their way out of their bracket? Which one can buy their way out of their bracket more easily and be a 2 fucking with an 8? A man or a woman?
All right.
Which one is more
That's a
susceptible?
I'm
silly
gonna
Which
question.
one? Well,
that is
I just want to know which one is more
all right,
susceptible.
let me
That's a
answer then.
silly
Then let me answer.
question.
Let me answer. You're not really buying your way out of that bracket. Cause the 8 knows that you're a 2. And she knows what she's getting out of it. She's not with you for real. That's a
You
fucking
know?
that's like thinking a stripper
Yeah.
loves
That's
you.
true. I
The
get
stripper don't
no.
Look,
fucking
a
love you.
man can
Question,
buy his
Mac.
way into a different bracket, and a
Cabino.
woman
They
can
don't
buy
do
her
they
way
don't do it
into
the
a
same.
different
Pro
bracket.
athletes are a prime example. Pro athletes
Pro
are
athletes are in shape though. Women like
okay.
niggas that's in shape.
People
Right
who
there.
got money, then people who got money, even if you take it out of that, people who got money, there are more men who are dating younger women that they could never think of being with if they didn't have the fucking money. I know that. That's the whole point. What I'm saying is that's more that women are a bigger group of people who are more susceptible to rocking with someone because how much money they have than a
I
man.
mean, but how many
Said,
times?
but
But
I
I
just
Calvino
think
feel
said
like
that
you're
that's
right.
not
you
they're
People
not
can
can
hang
really
with
buy
with
their
him.
anybody
way.
without no
Hold up,
money.
hold up,
People
hold
can
up,
buy
hold up,
their
hold up.
way.
Manda, go ahead and eat, and
People
then
can
lay them
buy
back to
their
a
way
boogie.
into. There's always Boogie said it like in jest, but yes, there's anomalies to everything. Like I could definitely like work somewhere for an extended amount of time, meet a guy I like, and fall in love with his ugly self. Very possible. But there's also like because I've had time to get to know him. We've been around each other
Right.
and
Right.
whatever. I could tell you right now, a sense of humor will get you really far, and you could be butt ugly in the face.
Yeah, that's
You make
facts.
somebody
Yep.
laugh, and there
And
you
I can
got
tell
it.
you
Like
that
But
works
I said
great.
that. I said that.
yeah, there are certain aspects
Calvino,
of
you're
people's
not butt ugly.
personality that will set them
But I'm
apart.
funny as shit. It's not about me being
Yeah, but
ugly.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
No, I
certain
get that
there
you're
are
saying.
certain things about people that will set them apart from everyone else, regardless of the typical attributes that we look at. If you
Right.
got a good body and you could be ugly in the face, you got some good abs and you're a man, somebody's gonna look at you twice. Same
Yep.
thing with a woman. You got a nice body, not so great in the face. I can't tell you how many men I've seen that have been walking around with a woman with an ugly face, but she got a banging body.
That's
You got
true.
the right amount of money in your pocket, you could buy your way into pretty much everything. Like, it's not about what I've told people, even working for me. Like, it's not about equality. It's about equal equity. We don't all start in the same place.
Mm.
You figure out what's going to get you ahead or what's going to set you apart, and you work with what you got. Some
Yep.
people
You
Yeah.
got talents
maximize
that
what
other
you can
people
You
don't
work
maximize
have.
with
your
what you
ability.
got.
Mm-hmm.
And you maximize on the qualities that you have that are going to work to get you where you want to be. And that includes relationships. If I'm really good at this thing, be really good at that thing. Don't try to be good at some shit you're not good at. If your body is terrible, look, your body's terrible. You can't do nothing about that unless you go get some surgery. But if you're a good woman, be a good woman. You know, if you make good money, work with that. If you try, like, you work with what you got. And if it works for you, great. That's your business. I don't got to see it from my house. My windows are right here. Whatever I can't see from here, I don't care about. Do whatever you do in your own house.
Okay, I agree with you. Now, before we get to the next video, got a question.
Mm.
Why do we rarely hear that men say they're single by choice?
Because men don't give a shit.
Because men don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
because
The
we don't
lie.
really.
The
I don't.
lie.
I believe that
I don't
men
feel like
just
I feel like
they
men just operate on a different state of
I think
mind.
that
Like I feel like they just like I mean, or even maybe, and it might get back to on the sense of what Boogie said. Like I think it's easier for a guy to get it. I think it's easier for a man to get the kitty. You know, so to me, men
I
know
don't.
that. I don't know. I mean, like you said, it's
I
something for
don't believe that at
everybody.
all.
You to me,
no, I
No.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's
I think
just
that
what I
they I
see,
think
but
that they men desire companionship more. That they actually a lot of men.
I
That's why
gotta
a lot of
jump
times
in.
I think that men require companionship. That's why a lot of men, if you look at the statistics on it, as soon as they get out of a marriage, they already in another one or they already have a relationship. Sometimes I believe that men don't like to be by themselves.
I
All right, let me
agree.
say this. I love being single. Okay. I absolutely adore that shit. I was never the dude like when I have a family and all that bullshit. I never wanted no fucking family. I never wanted to be married. I've never
Rare?
I've never proposed to anybody
Are you?
because
Do you think that that's rare for in a
it's
man?
absolutely rare.
Okay,
I'm
all
like
right.
the
I just
odd
wanted you to
duck.
say that. Okay, sorry. Go
Yeah, I'm
ahead.
the odd duck. But there are people, like you said, that there's no totality in anything. And I'm one of those guys that, especially when I was younger, I like having multiple women. Yeah, that's just what it was. I didn't want to be tied down. I didn't want to have girlfriends. It's like once you got serious, I would fade away. You know what I'm saying? So
you
I don't
didn't
know.
want to be tied down, but you wanted multiple women at the same time.
Yeah. And I would smash off
That
and
you
then I
didn't
get
And you
want
tired
to
of it.
be
honest
tied
about that?
down,
And when you honest
but to
about that,
me,
you can do that.
no, of course. But I also just think to myself too, like, you know, wouldn't that be annoying? Like you already, you know,
You
you don't
can't
like
think
hearing
like
people
me.
nice. You don't like hearing women's mouths anyway. So do you? I'm not thinking for you.
How
I'm
do you know
asking
that?
this.
I haven't dated you.
So
I haven't dated you a day in my life. How do you know that?
so you wouldn't mind hearing your woman's mouth then?
You say
You
it
said
all the time,
I
Calvino.
I date
You be
women,
Right.
cutting us
so
off,
I've
and you
heard
be like,
many
you talk too
miles
much.
over and
No,
over and over
but that's
again.
what I'm
But if I
saying. But
care about you, I'll listen to your mouth. If I
so
don't care about you, I'm gonna shut you down.
hold
There's
on,
a
but
big difference.
wait, but what I'm saying is okay, but wouldn't you know, considering that you have had all these women and some of them got feelings or whatever. Now that's more people in your
Fuck
ear,
your
right?
feelings, man. I just wanted to be successful in them streets. I ain't care about their feelings. I
No,
care about my feelings.
I
that's
can
what, and
actually agree with
that's
Calvino.
why I said Calvino. That's why I said men don't give a shit. My
Yeah,
point
you're right.
exactly.
I'm one of them.
So
I
that's
didn't give a shit. I'd be like,
so
what?
that's why.
How come you
That's
didn't
to
take me? How
answer
come?
Joel's question. When they say that they are single by choice, is because they lie.
They
Because
lie.
they never want to be by themselves. They're
Yeah,
saying it
you
just
want
because
multiple
they
women.
just want to say it because they don't want to admit they are single. They never want to be by themselves. They want to have open options out there. They
You're
always
right.
want to be
You're right,
available
G.
to have someone on the
I
side.
wasn't by myself,
Period.
but
That's what
I
I
wasn't.
said.
Exactly.
Fucking
Never be
right.
Exactly.
by
Yep.
themselves,
Thank you.
Exactly.
especially men.
Yep.
Exactly.
And here,
That's the
and
Do
that
way.
not want to be. They
five,
got somebody, don't they, G? They got
They
somebody.
always gotta have some piece of
Exactly.
meat on the
There's
side.
always
you
gonna
know
be
what I
something
think?
on the
I
side.
always
I think
one of the things I'm kind of like Calvino. I'm kind of
That's
like
the
Calvino.
lie.
I didn't want to be in a relationship like that ever. I never wanted was one of those girls that was like, oh, I want to get married because I am a person that I like to figure out people and a puzzler. So if I used to watch people. It was always if you give a person 30 days, some chick is coming out the woodworks. There's a text,
Mhm.
there's a phone call, they lying out there. But I agree with you, G.
They taking their
30 days,
phone
you
wherever they
also
go. They taking their
always
phone in the
tell,
shower.
yep, I
Look
Taking their
always
at
tell
phone in the
people,
Calvino.
bathroom.
you give
He's
that. I
like
said, Gina,
Calvino hated to be in a
yeah,
relationship,
I
and
tell
he had
people,
like multiple things going on at the
yeah,
same time.
I tell people, and I told my
And I'm
nieces, I
telling
said,
you, G, it
Gina,
was fun. It was
that's
fun.
it,
They were.
yes. And
I had
I
a
used to tell
ball, yo.
people,
I
and
swear to God, I wouldn't
you
change
gotta
that for
give
anything.
somebody, 30 to 90 days. Don't believe jack that's coming out their mouth. And I'm telling you, they're gonna come out like woodworks. Do not believe they're single. Just wait for it. Who's that
Oh,
texting? Like Amanda said, who that texting us? Oh,
Well,
you know?
listen. Let's be honest. When two people meet each other, and just because they say they single, they're not single. I mean, that's all. I don't care, woman, man. That's always somebody.
that's true.
I
That's
don't care
true.
if you just talking to them or
Yep.
someone that you fucking. That's always that one. Now, are
Yep.
you good enough to make her or him stop calling that motherfucker and make you the
The
one?
number one.
I mean,
That's
I don't
it.
even
Hmm.
think that should be the focus in the very beginning. That
But
should
it
be a given.
is. It
Competing. I
is.
know. It sounds like a competition, right,
Well,
Amanda?
No,
no, I'm
no,
saying it like
it's what
I'm
no no
saying it
no no
like
hold on. It's he knows this person. He don't know she. They don't know you. Just
because
like
that's
Nate just
no,
said.
that's
Hold on right
exactly what
quick,
I'm
man. Hold
saying.
on right
I'm
quick.
saying
Hold on
like
right quick. Hold on right quick. I'm gonna let you eat. Hold on right quick. Just like Nate said, 30 days, 10, 5. People be lying. They
Hmm.
create this fake ass facade
A
of who
lot.
they are. So that's why they like, okay, you sound genuine, but let's see how
Mm-hmm.
this goes. And as
Watch
time
this.
goes, okay, no, this person is 100. All right, let me go ahead and leave the rest alone. Now, let's be honest. A real good dude or good man is not saying they fucking both, but they
No.
slowly like distancing themselves with the other one because and they're getting closer to you because they see, okay, this might be something.
hmm
Might be something, but in case you fuck up, they got that one in the back pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it
Yep.
is. Both people do it. All right, man, go ahead.
Nah, no, that's what I was saying. I don't think anybody like I'm not married. I mean, and I would think that going in. Like if I start to date someone, I'm not in competition mode. I'm exploring who this person is to see if we are compatible
Yeah.
in our long-term future. If I go in automatically, like, and I know a lot of women who do it, they walk in automatically like, who else are you talking? How many people are you talking to?
They
What
ain't
else do
none
you
of
have
their
going on?
business. Yeah.
And when you walk in
And that's
like
my
that,
answer every time.
Yep. None of
you're
your
but
business.
you're right. It's not like we're not there yet.
Yep.
It doesn't matter because you're still getting to know this person. I mean, what's to say y'all go out one or two times
And I
and you're
hate
not
your ass.
Thank you.
exactly. I don't even like
Right.
you.
Then you gotta do that 90 day.
Like You
see that
gotta figure
character
out, do you
flaw.
even like this person? Is it even worth
90 days
me?
too long though, Nate. You
You
got to
know,
you got to come
you
off.
done
You got to
by
come off
90
it
days.
before 90
No,
days.
by 90 days, you done see all those character flaws. Nobody can hold that up. By 90
Well,
days,
Do
I
you
don't
gotta
say a
cut
day.
that
I
shit
don't
off
say a
when you
day
get to
mark
be older, like
because
30
yep,
days. You should be
yep.
good to go.
By
You should
30
know
days,
by then.
I was
by
just
30
gonna say
days,
Yeah,
you
I don't
already
give a
see
day
experience.
that.
mark
30 days, that's
because
it. Thanks, 30 days too much,
30
actually.
days is like 30 days is like you can start seeing little stuff. But by 90
Mm-hmm.
days, you know by then whether or not that
Mm-hmm.
person is.
it depends on how much time you end up making available for that person. Because I've even like even in my own experiences, right? I have some people who I've dated that we have similar schedules, or they're free a lot more often than I am, so they're able to like come see me or let's run to lunch really. So you have time available to spend with that person. That person, you might see them a couple times in a week and decide, you know what, I don't like this dude. Like,
Yeah.
we don't went out to
Amanda,
lunch
with your
twice.
career, with that career that you have, honey, I'm pretty sure with 2 weeks will be enough. 2 weeks will be enough. So
Honestly,
like you'll
I'm
be
pretty
like a
sure.
radar, like
I'm pretty sure 2 hours would be enough fucking
You
with her.
yeah,
know,
Like
like you'll
2 hours.
just
this
oh no,
motherfucker's fucked up.
nice meeting you. Bye
Yep.
bye.
Fucked up.
Go
how
ahead, go
people say
ahead.
people show you who they are.
Yeah.
24 hours. That's all you
Yeah.
need. If you have a decent
Mm.
All you need.
conversation, you always see something. All I need you to do is have a full conversation
Spend
with
an
me.
hour on that phone. You already
And
know.
if I have a decent amount of time talking to you and I see you take a phone call or interact with somebody other than me for an extended amount of time, either take a
Yep.
phone call or go to a restaurant, interact with a waiter or helping staff or something, I know pretty
Mm-hmm.
much all I need to know.
Yep. That's why I said
Because
I like to watch folks.
yeah, because you could tell how people are when they treat
Yeah.
people a certain way, talk on the phone to their cousin or to their brother, or they're hiding stuff, they walk away. Now, is even that you bump into somebody in a store, you could always tell when people are shifty and weird about stuff. And some things is not
Can
that
I
you don't
say
trust
something?
them or you think
It
they're
be the
sneaky.
phone thing for
Can,
me. The
can I
Go
phone
on
say
thing
the
for
trip
something?
me.
with
If
them.
you
You go
can't
on the
sit your
trip.
phone down and you
Calvino
can't just
had
lay
to
your
say
phone down,
something.
Yeah,
Calvino
yeah,
was saying something.
What you got,
yeah.
Calvino?
I am perfect with never answering my phone. I can we when I go on a date, it's just me and you. I don't even look at the damn phone. And so I don't ever have that problem because discipline is the ability to tell yourself no. And I can tell myself no. If I'm
But
going out
even
with
that says something about you though. So
yeah, if
that's
I'm
to
going
hmm
out with
me that
you,
says
then that
like when
time
this
is blocked
person,
off.
but I
yeah,
mean,
It's
but
like I
exactly,
don't
I don't think
but
it's
that
common
would
courtesy and
outright say,
respect.
without me knowing anything else about you, that would, the one thing it would tell me is when this person decides to do something, whether that be stop fucking with me entirely, or when he decides to tell me he's locked in and we're together, I know he's telling me the truth.
yeah.
Because when he
Yep.
makes a choice to do
I
it,
even tell the fucked up truths.
but that's what I'm saying. Like when that's your experience with somebody, you know that when they decide to tell you something that's 100% focused, whether it be I don't fuck with you no more, or I do fuck with you and I want to see where this is going to go, you know it's real. But when you
Right.
have somebody that seems like they're all over the place and they're looking at their
Yeah.
phone, silencing it, excuse me for a minute, let me walk over here, you could tell that that person is scattered all over the place.
Yeah, that's dead.
Yeah,
That's
and I
dead.
feel
I
like,
don't like women
what
like
about
that
people
either.
that take their phone to the bathroom
Well, you got to take your phone to the bathroom. What I'm gonna leave it with you?
in
What
the
are you talking
house?
about?
In the house?
So
My
In the
phone is in my
house?
why
pocket.
is that?
Yeah, I have it
Why
on
would that be?
shorts right
Why would
now. I
that
put
be a
my phone in
problem?
my pocket and walk around.
So I said this one day. I was like,
Like if we
sometimes
chilling and we
people
just
have
watching a
something
movie and they
wrong with
gotta
them.
go to the bathroom real quick and they ain't taking no shit. They just
I don't watch
going to the
movies.
bathroom. But it's like, dang, you can't even leave the phone just said like what, like why
I
the
mean,
phone
if y'all are
I
just
thought you
dating, I
meant.
wouldn't leave the phone with you either. He don't know you like that.
Yeah.
You got a point
But
on
What
that
you
y'all
one.
been
worried about
dating
my
for
phone
a
for?
long time
You know
though.
what? Know what I've never done
I'm
in
just
my life?
asking in a
I've never
general.
checked
I'm
the
just
girl's phone because I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
If I
you
catch
know.
No.
you, I catch you.
No.
If I don't, I
Yeah.
don't.
Everything
I
done
don't
in the
worry
dark
about
comes to
nobody's
Well,
light.
it
phone.
comes.
Yep.
I was
I
about to
don't pay
say,
your
Nay,
phone bill,
everything that
so you
comes
can
in
do
the
whatever
dark
you
comes
want
in
on
the
that
light.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Well,
I
I'm
I
not
don't do
mean,
doing
that
that
either.
because
either.
you know how many, I
Yep.
mean, it happens to
I don't do
everybody,
that
but
though.
you know how many people have had the experience of somebody touching their phone and going through their phone, and you know how much stuff people have in their phone now.
I
So
had that happen
Thank you.
once.
I believe
That
you
taught me a
if you
valuable
by the
lesson.
But
time
I
by the time you feel
believe
like
though
bitch.
the
See,
real
that's
yeah,
you.
why
by
I
the
people
time
get
you
also
fucked.
feel
believe the
like you
real you
gotta
is in
go
that
through,
phone.
by the
The
time you get ready to go on somebody's phone, just leave. Like,
Right,
because why
oh
would you
yeah,
do that to
right,
yourself?
I
I'm not
agree.
doing that. I'm not no private investigator. I'm not looking through your phone.
right.
I'm not doing any of that. By the
That's
time you
horrible.
feel like, by
I
the time you
agree.
feel like you need to go on that phone, by the time you need to feel like you need to get in your car and follow them, you already know the answer is called intuition.
Mm,
You need to leave that person alone because that's just
Yeah,
too
There it is.
much. That's
Boogie,
excessive.
exactly.
Boogie. What you got before we go to
agreed.
this next clip?
I mean, the only thing I was gonna go back to is the comments about men being not able to be alone or it's worse. I agree with that. It is, and I think there's a reason for it too, which is it's harder for men to be alone, and they always keep one in the stash because they're less inclined to even contemplate the possibility of celibacy once they first learn what it is to really enjoy that part of their life. And it's not something they're willing to fucking give up. That's why men cheat when they get in a situation where them and their girl ain't fucking because of it. Something happened for an extended amount of time. Yeah, it's greed. It's fucking savagery. And that's the reality. And that's the hard part for some people to sometimes just get. Yeah. Sometimes people stay with somebody because they're like, you know what? Men have the ability to fuck people they don't even like.
That is true.
Or physically attracted to.
They have,
Yep,
yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
that.
we have the ability to not like, we have
Nate.
the ability to not like you at all, but you are doing it for them on a biology level, and
Mm,
that part is not the same for women. It can be,
it
but
definitely
but
isn't
then
because I
again, it's
can't
the
do that.
outlier. Right, and
Mm.
Me either now.
the thing is, what I'm talking
If I
about,
feel
when
like
I'm
I
talking to
wouldn't
my
even want you to
daughter,
touch me, it ain't
I'm
happening.
telling my daughter, know what.
Don't touch me.
Right, but you're
Oh, let her
missing
get
the
it out.
point.
Let her get it out.
No,
Let her
I
get it
get
out.
what you're saying. No, Boogie, I'm not saying. I'm just saying I agree with you. Like, yes,
Gotta
I agree.
understand
I'm
when
like
you're
you said, men can fuck and not even like the bitch, don't even want to look at
yeah.
her the next day. That ain't happening over here. I don't have that. And I when
You
I say
know
I
that.
wish, I say that very loosely. I can't. I couldn't even bring myself to do that. That's
That's
just
the
me.
beauty of women, though. I like that about y'all.
Right. We
Yeah.
want y'all to be that way.
He doesn't mean that.
We
He
don't
doesn't
want
mean
the
that.
girl.
Mm.
We're not gonna
He
take the
doesn't
girl
mean
seriously,
that.
but
Oh, that was such an insult.
Does not mean that.
on
Go
our
ahead.
He
Go ahead, Boogie.
insulted
Go ahead.
us.
on our way to
Sorry.
taking that girl seriously, we do a lot of the fuck shit. And you gotta realize you might be a part of that's when I'm talking to my daughter, I'm like, yo, I'm peeping cats, and I'm glad she lets me meet some motherfuckers from time to time that she might bring around because I'm trying to school her like, yeah, this is what we fucking do. Every woman needs somebody in their life that's a man that's gonna keep it so fucking real. I tell her all the time, I'm the only nigga in your life that don't want shit from you. I'm the realest nigga you'll ever know, realer than your husband will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's real fucking rap. We're
Mm-hmm.
grimy motherfuckers, yo. Not maybe for life, but there's a time where that level of untamed boys will be boy shit, that's real shit. Locker room talk, that's real shit. Wild shit. Men can be ruthless when it comes to that part. And it's just like, yo,
Okay, as long as there's transparency and honesty. Like how Calvino said,
but there's not. Here's the
that's
thing,
what I'm
there's not.
saying. That's when yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why you got to watch and give that little grace period and just listen and see how their actions line up to what
Yeah,
they're
people
saying.
gonna tell you who they are.
Yeah, they're going to tell you who they
They're
are.
gonna tell you. They're
You
gonna
got to
tell you after
watch,
you got
man.
hurt. Sometimes they told you
No.
who they were by hurting you. Sometimes you found out who they were by getting hurt by them. That does fucking happen.
There's nothing that they could have
Not
verbally
maturity.
said. One thing that I've learned is that sometimes I'm not trying to insult the gender of men. They sloppy, when they do their movement.
Yes.
So you can
They're
see
sloppy
when
with your
they're.
feelings. They're sloppy
And
with your.
I'm not trying to be funny.
No, I'm
Just
talking
a
about sloppy when they think that. I think that a lot of people think highly of themselves, and they think that they're fooling people. Like a woman don't have
mm-hmm.
intuition, and we can't tell that you're juggling. We can tell that you're juggling. We can. I'm just saying.
And then
You can
honestly, and
tell when.
I was just gonna say with
There's
Nate,
nothing that a man has told me that I didn't already know.
I will say too what Nate
Maybe,
said.
maybe so. But a lot of women, when you can tell that we're juggling, it's because you've already been juggled. We don't give a fuck. We juggled you.
What?
You
Said
know,
you
or
can
maybe
tell
you
when
was
we're
juggled
juggling.
too.
You can tell when we're juggling because your ass has
Because
already
we
been
could tell that
juggled.
we was no, or we juggled you. You could tell that we was
Okay.
juggled because you too was juggled. We
Well,
know the
do you
juggling
think it's
game.
the same? Do you think it's the same?
Now
I
we in the
don't.
circus up in this bitch.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's
I'm
the
just
same for men
saying.
and women. I don't.
I
I
I
do.
I
I'm
I,
just saying. I just think that y'all think so
I
highly of
just feel I
yourself.
do
That's not thinking highly of ourselves. That's just accepting that we're beasts.
I
Well,
just
No,
feel
no, hold
no,
on right
but
quick.
I
Hold on
just
right
feel
quick.
like
Hold on
What is
right
it?
quick.
Sow your royal oats and sow your seed. All these phrases come from something
but
because
Okay.
it's a
I
women
cliche
think
can
I,
do
statement
it
I
and
think
categorizing something real.
I
but
think I
women can.
think that some men don't understand that there's some women out here just as ruthless as they are.
That's the
Yeah,
truth.
and you would
right.
never know.
They're
they
just
will
not the
fuck.
majority. They're
Uh, uh,
just not the majority,
I
bro.
got it. I got it that they're not the majority. I got that boogie. But there's some ruthless ass women
No,
that will
And
fuck
I
your daddy, fuck your son, fuck your best friend,
Right.
and
and you would
come back
never
home and
And they
know.
kiss you.
all wind up happily married with families
And
later on in
yeah,
life and
and come back
celebrate
home and
for it.
kiss your ass goodnight. They don't
but
give a
I
fuck.
also
Yep,
and I
They
can
don't
agree with
and
what
cook
Nate I
dinner
do
like
agree.
nothing
I do
happened.
agree with
Yeah.
what Nate said though. I do feel like yeah, all that juggling, whatever the case may be. I do feel like sometimes though, when men, it's almost like when men cheat, it's kind of supposed to be okay. But if a woman does it, like Nate said, you guys are sloppy with it. Y'all get caught and y'all do dumb stuff. Y'all will fuck around and leave messages. You know, you're like,
Neighbor,
it'll be like stuff that'll just like, and especially with smartphones and stuff now, stuff be popping up on TV screens and notifications in the car, and somebody might be calling on the Bluetooth and you forgot to check. Like, I agree with Nate. I feel like men are sloppy with it, which is why I feel like men be so quick to leave a woman the first time they cheat because it's like, you did this to me? Like what?
I
No,
don't
I'm
think that's
saying
the reason. The
one.
reason is you're soiled. And once I know you're soiled, I don't want your ass no more. It don't have shit to do
What
with
you
you did
what,
this to me. We
what
look
means
at it
soil?
as if you
No,
fuck
he's right.
somebody
He's
else
right.
while you with me, you're fucking
You're
soiled.
not
let
gonna
me
And I
tell
don't
you
want to be
Tainted.
something.
bothered with
you're
your
You're
not
ass.
gonna
tainted
lose me.
Oh,
goods.
you mean that? Oh,
You're tainted.
okay.
You're no
Come on, you're
longer
damaged goods.
damaged,
Damaged
Damaged
tainted.
goods.
good.
You're no,
Hey,
that's how I feel. You're
I
no longer
agree.
wanted.
I
You can
agree.
go wherever the hell you feel is you need to go. Good back.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
all right.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a woman being single by choice. And fellas, if you run into these women who claim to be single by choice, especially the ones 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 that actually want a man, this is how you know that she is out of touch with reality and she refuses to take accountability. You're not single by choice if you want a man. You're single because the men that you think that you should be dating or the type of treatment that you feel like you should be getting, you aren't able to get that from the men that you actually want to date. So you convince yourself that you're single by choice because this is the thing, right? If you're single by choice, this means that even if the so-called perfect man came into your life, you wouldn't date him, but that's not the circumstances. You're single because the man that you want or the quality of man that you feel like you should be dating does not want to date you. Have you ever heard, have you ever asked a woman why she's single and she says, honestly, I'm the problem? That's the number one red flag when you see them in their 40s. They're beautiful aesthetically, got the job they want, got the body they want, but nobody wants you. No man made an honest woman out of you yet. Ever? No one's ever married you. And I know you're going to get the, oh, I always get the engagement. I'm turning the marriages down. Nobody turns down a decent situation. Nobody turns down a decent situation.
Maybe he's not, and that's the thing. You have choices. Well, I'm single by choice. So his whole theory is just out the window. So I'm single by choice. Would I stay single? No, I don't want to stay single. So I am single by choice,
Are
but
you
I do
single
not
by choice or by standards?
by choice. I have no,
But your
I don't
standards
want,
are a choice too. So that could still be
well, when I get open to date, then it may be by standard. But right now, I there's no desire. I don't have the time or energy to put into a relationship. I don't want to now. But when I do, I probably will be single by standard because what I'm looking for I will not. There's a little window of settlement, but not very much. And I know people love to be like, but you're getting older. Okay, well, that might be scary for you guys, but my latter days would be better than my former days. So it's gonna be all good.
All right. So with all that said, are some women single by choice because the men they want don't want them back?
I
Mm,
don't know if that's necessarily
no.
true. That, of course, that's going to be the case in some instances, but
Yeah.
I think you can be single by choice because you're choosing not to be involved. I mean, that's a choice.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
if you don't want to be involved, you're single by choice.
No doubt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bars,
Thank you.
Albino. Bars. Bars.
Look at G. Thank
Stupid.
you.
Thank you. No, it is
And
true.
just
It's
like,
like,
and
do
then
you know
there's,
how many times? Do you know how many times I heard that? Like, oh, maybe you are the problem because you know what? I was single for so long, and it
Mhm.
wasn't because I wanted. It wasn't because I choose to be single. Because every time I run into these guys, I saw that they turned out to be someone that they were portraying to be someone they were not. So a couple of weeks later, I was like, no, thank you, bye bye. So
Right.
Yes.
long, sayonara, adios, vaya con Dios. Because no, I choose to be by myself and not to keep dating these guys just so people could say, or I could say I'm not single. Like, no. And people will say, oh, maybe you're the problem. Was let them say it. I don't care. If they want
Yeah,
to say that I was the problem,
I
then yeah, I
agree.
am the freaking problem.
I agree
yeah.
with
And
you.
maybe it
I
was that I
don't,
was looking on dating people that were I thought maybe that I was gonna find what I was looking for, and I was wrong. I was wrong about it, but I just rather be by myself. Couple weeks later, thank you, bye bye. But some of us, yes, like I said before, some of us, just choose to be by ourselves after a couple weeks later, dating. Like, no, adios.
I
But
agree
I
with
still
G
believe
though.
that no one wants to be by themselves. And then it
Yeah,
gets kind of scary, just getting older and damn, I haven't found somebody yet, but I'd rather be by myself than be with the wrong person.
Amen.
So
Say that again,
yeah.
that last part. Say that again, G. Rather be
I'd
by
rather be
yourself
by
than with the
myself than being with the wrong person.
bars.
I agree with G. Like though, I don't like when guys be like, "Oh, you must be the problem." Like,
Yeah.
well, you over here just as quote unquote single as much as you in my face. So, were you the problem in your last? Like, why is it that I have to be a problem because I'm not with
Mm-hmm.
anybody, no matter my
I
age? It
know.
could have been a thing where I went through a really bad, and it might not even been a breakup. Like, what if the person I was in love with passed away unexpectedly?
I know.
That
And
that
you
wasn't
say that,
something
but then we know. We
but
can't
what
guess all those things.
right, but I'm saying like, but if what if they don't at that moment, like you said though, you don't know that person. What if that's
But,
like in the
but
24
when
hours?
guys say you might be the problem, it's from a pattern. It ain't from one relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's a pattern of shit. It's like
What you
you
mean
never
like what do you
a
mean a
pattern.
pattern?
Like you had relationships. You've had multiple relationships. They haven't amounted to much more than dating, and then y'all move on. And that becomes a pattern. And then it looks like, well, how come nobody is trying to wife her up? That's how our mind goes. Our mind goes to, hold on.
So
So
y'all go into the count of how so you're saying you think about how many people if they say, "Oh, I dated 3, 4 people or whatever, but it never got anywhere," or we were engaged but it never went anywhere.
He's saying like
No, Bino, some people is really
nice,
rude. Like even
huh?
nice.
without like really knowing me, they will come up and say something like that. Like, oh, it was
Nah,
so
he's saying like
irritating.
let's say that like if I did was out dating and I talked to say Cabino and I'm
Hmm.
like no I just haven't found I
Then you
did
be
like
straight. You be done.
so I talked to this guy and then so for I dated like 12 guys like I just haven't found the right one a
Yeah,
guy
12 guys, you're the problem. That's the
yeah
guy. I'm like, hold up,
right
12
he was saying
guys?
because
Are you
I'm
serious?
the problem
12 guys and
What
nobody
the
maybe he
wanted to
was
get
saying
with
that
doing
you?
I'm the
life?
problem
No, sir.
right
Red
take that one
flag.
you
Throw
guys
that
keep
up.
that
Meaning yourself
everybody.
that like, yeah, really fucked up.
Yeah, but then my thing is everybody keeps saying these people are saying that, but from what maybe it's why the guys not what maybe the guys are the problem And that's the reason why women are not
I was just
just
saying, I was just
yeah,
gonna
like
say, like when
choosing
I
that.
was with I've only brought home two guys. And my first ex, I was with him for almost 6 years, and that was from like 18 to 25, 19, 25. And I wanted that. I wanted to get married. We talked about kids and everything. I wanted to be married by the time I was 25. I wanted to have a baby by the time I was 25. I said, I'm in school. We about to get an apartment. We doing this. But he couldn't keep his shit together. He was always losing a job.
Because
All
he's
he
too
wanted to do
young to
was
be getting
all he
married.
wanted to do was
The
but I'm
25, baby.
but what I'm saying is, but I mean, I'm compared to my parents who were 20 and 21.
That was
Different
back in the
era.
day though, now.
Yeah,
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 that's a
like
that,
different
but
now.
era.
even still, you just still
Yeah.
this still an age thing.
I
But
gotta
even
I
still,
tell
for
my
me,
kids,
I
don't get
felt
married
like
at no
me
20
personally,
something.
and of course, I'm totally my mindset is different now that I'm 30 years old and I'm past that. But what I'm saying is, at that time, yes, because we were talking about women wanting the whole marriage thing and kid thing and da da da. I did want that, but on his half, it seemed like every year it was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, so in my head now, as time is going on and I'm dating this person, I'm like, maybe I don't want to marry him like I thought I wanted to. Maybe I don't want to have a baby with him like I thought because you can't even keep a job for 6 months to a year. It's
Yeah.
always something. Meanwhile, I'm the one who's in
Maybe the
school.
problem is you, right?
I can maintain my job. I can and still go out and have fun. I'm not stopping you from having your going out with your boys. Like I'm
I got a
doing
question. Let me ask a question. It's kind of off subject though, but when we're talking about dating at different stages of life, because we all have varied experience. Some people have been married for a span of years. Some people have been single for a span of years. Um, and I'm just curious for all the women, like at different stages of your life when you've been single and dated, do you ever think about, is it the same in any way for like body count? Do you think like, oh, this motherfucker's been single for 20 years? Or, oh, he was married for 10 years and he might have been single for 3 years? Or, I mean, like, do y'all not care about any kind of
I me
body?
personally,
Because some people are like, yo, I don't fucking ask. I don't want to know. Body count doesn't matter. I'm really curious about that because I think for younger men, especially, yeah, motherfuckers care.
I want to know.
So
I want to
sometimes
know.
you look at like the mileage of like how long you've been in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like this is real shit.
I want to know. A 40-something-year-old person that has never been married with no kids would be suspect to me. Like, why
Right.
so I want to know.
So
I ask questions.
do you think out of each sex, which one do
You
you
want
think
to
is
know their
more?
body count, Nate?
No, I didn't say
Not
I
the
would.
body count.
Because
Oh,
I think as you get older, men mature, and I understand after a certain point, if you're dealing with women in a certain age bracket, you're not gonna fucking want to know, and it's not gonna fucking matter. Why would you give a fuck about that? But when you're younger, that's why I prefaced it, Mac, with or Calbino, with when you're younger,
swear to God,
that
OG Boogie.
maturity is not that. No, but you know as much as I do, Matt. We weren't always who we are now. We grew, we evolved, we matured. We have a different perspective on all of these subjects than we did fucking 20 years ago. I'm talking about the
That's
baby
for
making,
sure.
people building families, the motherfuckers who are gonna be. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, when you and I got kids the same age, so that demographic of motherfuckers was building the future. We already in the fucking fourth, at the end of the third quarter.
Asking, but that's why I asking questions. But when I was dating back before I got married, I always ask. I told you I like to figure out some stuff. So back when there was this guy, he was older and he had no kids, and he was older, and I'm like, he was suspect to me. You don't have no kids. I think he was in his 40s then, and he had no kids. He's never been married. I had questions,
See,
and
when
then
I was, I
I
didn't
was
have a
turned off.
kid until I was 30 years old. And that used to be so attractive to the women I met when I was out being successful in the streets. They'd be like, what? You 28 and you don't have no kids? I'm like, nope, I ain't got
28.
no kids.
Okay, yeah,
They
You know
come
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
evil
And
with you
they
because
used
you
to
got the
love
light,
that shit.
Mac with the light eyes. You remember the eyes and shit? You throw the
I
eyes.
still got the light eyes,
That's
nigga.
what I'm
You think they
saying.
went
I'm
away?
saying when I saw your son, I was like, when I saw your son, I
Oh,
was
he
like,
looked
oh
just like me.
no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw him, I was like, hold the fuck up. This
Like,
nigga done
yo,
stole my face.
But 28 is understandable. Like under 30, that's understandable. When you get like 40 and 50 and all of that,
Yeah, I
and they
guess,
don't,
yeah, that would be different.
yeah.
I've definitely gotten that question that y'all were talking about, like when people meet people in dating and say like, "Oh, you're in your 40s, like what's wrong with you?" Or
Mm-hmm.
why? Or what's happened? Or what kind of trauma have you been through that you that and I mean, I've had my share of bad picks, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just I think there comes a time where you look at people and you realize like this person is for me or they're not. And if
Right.
they're not, it's okay to let it go. And I think sometimes when you're in your 40s or when you're older, you some people start to not let shit go as easily, and that just extends the process.
That's the truth.
You know,
So
You
they
got a
start
short
looking
leash.
around
Yes.
and
You
they
got a
start
short
going,
leash. The
"Oh,
older I get, the shorter the leash has gotten. Like,
Yeah, because
what?
they worried
exactly."
about being by themselves or dying alone.
Exactly.
Listen,
And they hold on to stuff a lot longer than they
yep,
should
yep. Let
because
me,
they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, the pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and
and I'm not
maybe I
doing
can
it.
make this work. Maybe this personal change, maybe the and I'm a woman of a certain age or a person of a certain age and you know, I just don't want to go through that process cuz my time tolerance is getting smaller and smaller and smaller." And I get it, but I think that's not realistic. I think you just got to be true to yourself and when you're done, you're
And
I
done.
that's
can't hear
How I
nothing.
that's
feel
what
with
I said.
babies.
That's what I said. When
I
I
ain't in
one of
no
the
rush.
beautiful, and I just want to say this too, if the to women that are afraid of being by, listen, you get yourself a team. One of the best things that I know it's off topic, but one of the best things that I did for my mom has been there when she was leaving the world. So being by you, if you are asshole, you might end up by yourself, but if you're just don't say. I just can't see people settling. Like the fear of getting older should not make you want to stay in things just to be staying in something when it's all right. I don't know. Take care of yourself. Work out. I don't know.
You got some people who just, they need companionship, so they gonna do what they do to have somebody there. With all that being said, yo, let's get into the final thoughts. Single by choice or by standards? What y'all got? What y'all got?
By
I think a
standards.
women. I think a standard is still a choice as well. I think women can be single by choice, single by standard. I mean, you can pick what you want. Now, some of them have been reduced to being single because they are the problem, but there's others that they're being more selective. And if you're more selective, you got a shorter leash, you got a shorter pool to deal with. So I think you can be single by choice. But if you're single by choice, I ain't gonna say that. All right, that's it.
Say it. Say
my
it.
Nah,
I feel like
What? You're
I
censoring yourself,
right.
Calbino?
I know. Say it,
yeah,
Like
Calvino.
nah,
you
I
can't
ain't gonna say it.
you can't censor yourself and not show your face.
Right.
Exactly. You gotta pick one. So you're not showing your face. You
Oh,
gotta say it. I want to know now.
now there's intrigue with it. Come on.
Yeah. What you got?
Nah. I don't want to put that out in the universe.
All right. Well.
All right, Big
Well,
Nine, go Big Nine. It's on you.
um,
Or regular Nye, like
okay.
I like to call her.
Okay, now see, I can't have my name, but you don't want me to call you your name. None do you?
My name is
Okay.
Calbino. It's not, I ain't your uncle.
Okay, Uncle Bean. Anyway, I agree with what Calvino said. I think it's a choice. You have every right to be selective. I feel like don't let anybody feeling like, oh, just because you're single or whatever, something's wrong with you. And me personally, I actually would actually give more respect to the people who would say out their mouth, yeah, I'm single because I need to do some healing on my own. And that is why I rather you say that. And I respect people that can say that because at least you're being truthful to say, you know what, I still got some baggage or whatever I'm not healed from or some trauma. So instead of me even trying to get close to somebody or having them take on that burden, let me kind of heal myself a little bit more. I mean, we're all walking pieces of trauma. Everybody has been through something. So I just feel like, you know, if you single by choice, that's fine. And again, it I don't feel like it should matter. I feel like people definitely need to stop saying, "Oh, something is wrong with you," because to me that's invalidating how someone looks at their relationships or how they either want to be in a relationship or be single. And I also feel like people shouldn't feel pressured to be in a relationship or be with someone or hurry up, because again, to me, that takes more to be in a relationship than it does to be single, where you gotta pay attention to people's feelings and how they think and how they move and future plans and all of that. So at the end of the day, if you're single by choice, that's okay, and if not, that's okay too.
Okay. All right. Nay G, what y'all got?
Nay.
You go, G.
Oh, gee, okay. Well, single by choice, by standards. It could be either one. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to be really single, but like I said before, some people choose to be single just because, um, sometimes it's better than being with the wrong people. Even though I don't think anybody really wants to be on their own. The right person will come, you know, and it is what it is. It could be either one. But you just gotta be hopeful. Somebody will come your way. I don't believe that people really wants to be by themselves for the rest of their life. But that's all I gotta say.
Okay, I get that. Nay, what up?
I just don't like to say it because people like to argue with me, and it's my life. But I'm celibate. I lack nothing. And
I
then when
think
the
you're
time comes,
ashamed.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Example A.
Mm-mm.
So exactly, it's insane, right? To certain people, because it's not your preference, it's not your standard of life. It's not abstinence, it's celibacy. That's what I'm doing, and I lack nothing. My life is full. I don't depend on my kids to fill my cup. They're just in my life. And I think that if you're not just telling women that, women just need to stop saying I'm single, like it's an armor, and then maybe people won't come to attack it.
Mhm.
So that's what I think that the social media makes people attack that, because people are doing this and like, I'm single, I don't need a man. Of course I need not need, I want a good man. But my standards are what they are, and I'm patient with it. And that's it.
That's it.
And that's it.
Okay. Matt,
Must be,
Boogie, what you got?
yeah, because Amanda, we need you to close this one out for us. I believe that, yeah, it can be by choice, but it's not just standards. Sometimes it's circumstance, and circumstance and standards are not the same thing. Circumstance is just, a totally different animal. But when men, as the women said, seem to be, easily hopping from one thing to another as far as in relationships, it's not healthy. It's not something good. It's not something that should be promoted. Because you can damage yourself in fucked up ways like that too, whether it be pregnancies, diseases, what have you, things that are not in alignment with
Mhm.
us,
Incurable diseases.
right, and
Mhm.
reaching your full potential. I think what somebody said about it being said as an armor, that is what's triggering people, because men are feeling like that's disingenuous. We don't really believe you. And even G and a couple other people said, yeah, they want it, but for whatever reason, they don't want to be in something just to be in it. And I understand that too. We don't, because time is precious, you don't have time to waste to just be in something to be in it and make the kind of commitment that it requires to be successful
Mhm.
for somebody that you're not really feeling like that, you
True.
know. And it is harder for women because of how grimy men can be at any age,
Mhm.
every age,
Mhm.
depending upon their circumstance and what it is that they feel like they're getting. But uh man, I'll even say this, it's just harder for y'all in general in certain ways when it comes to relationships. And I'm seeing this because I have a vested interest in wanting my daughter to one day be with somebody who I'm like,
Whoa.
but the reality is you got to be, this is a treacherous environment, and
Mhm.
you should. be super precautious and doubtful and questioning. But the thing is, when you say you don't, it's by choice, it's being perceived as if that would be your default choice. Like when you were a little girl, you didn't dream of, oh, one day I'm gonna have a boyfriend or I'm gonna have a husband. No, y'all all did that shit. So it's like, again, maybe there's anomalies. Some people never did certain things, but in large percentages, women do that shit. And that's why we don't believe y'all when you say by choice. But it is a choice. And that is the choice you're making. But it's more about what are the reasons behind you making that choice? What are the circumstances that prompted you to say, oh, nah, count me out? Sometimes it's not because that's what you wanted, what you really wanted. And if you could make it wave a magic wand, that wouldn't be the choice. And that's what we just want people to be honest about.
Okay, I get that. Amanda, what you got?
Sorry, Amanda.
I guess to take in consideration everything that everyone said, relationships are complex. So is singleness. And for some people, it's circumstance. For others, it's healing. And for some, it's about growth. And at the end of the day, being single doesn't always have to mean someone failed. Sometimes it just means they've learned enough about themselves and about life to make a choice that's suitable for them and avoids settling on the wrong thing or wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Okay. I like it. I
well,
like
that's
it.
a
I like it.
word for the
I like it. I
wrong
like it.
one.
I like what everybody said. Everybody said they're single by choice, but the real question is who's actually doing the choosing. Boom. That's all we got. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we love you out there. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.